Hi friends, visit this URL available in the description and scroll down to download the zip file. Here it is. Download the zip file. The entire script with SQL dump, everything is available. Download it into your local machine. Inside the zip file, you will find a SQL dump.txt file. Inside that, the SQL dump of the table, single table we have used. So that table is available. You can just copy this and paste it in your inside your PHP MyAdmin or MySQL workbench and create the table. Now come to the main page. Here it is index-pdo, because we are using PDO or PHP data object, so we are given the name as index.pdo. If you are using MySQLi, then open the index.php and again the database connection file is config.php file. Here you can see inside the index.pdo index-pdo we have connected to config.pdo file. This config.pdo file contains our database connection. It's a local host, whatever it may be. It may be a different connection for you. And database, whatever database name, user ID and password. You change all this user ID and password. This is my local host, so a very easy user ID and password is there. Finally, we are creating an object DBO. This host holds our connection string or connection to the MySQL database. Now here we are inside our index.php, we are using that. So here it is available. Now after this, we'll divide it into broadly in two parts. First, we'll collect the data from a MySQL database and create a JavaScript array. And in the part 2, we'll load the Google library for the column chart or bar chart, and then add the data and the JavaScript array, all these things, and work on the options to create different type of staggered bar chart, then column chart. Basically, I can tell you the difference between a bar chart and column chart is the orientation. If it is oriented vertically, then it is a column chart. If it is oriented horizontally, it's a bar chart. Okay, we'll work on all these areas. So let's first retrieve our data from our database. So I'll write a query here. What I am writing is just to collect the date columns names. These are profit, month, profit, and cell. So before that, cell and profit. These three columns data we are taking from the database. From where the table name will give it chart data column. This is the table what is in the SQL, inside the SQL dump we have used. Fine, let's collect all the records. Now then we'll say step equal to DBO. What is this DBO? This is the same one what you have, because you have created it here. This we are using it here. So DBO, then prepare. What will prepare? Will prepare the query. You can write directly the query itself here itself. Okay, now I am telling if now step execute. So if it is successfully executed, execute, then in that case only I am writing here, I am creating the array now. This is the, note that this is a PHP array, so I am giving the name accordingly. Array equal to now step fetch all. Now what happened at this stage is all the matching records are retrieved from the database and stored in the PHP data array variable. So this is the PHP variable. It's not a JavaScript. This PHP data array will convert it to a JavaScript variable. Now from PHP or a backend, we are throwing the data to a front end array. Now how we will create? This is the key of it. The main thing is now we have to writing a JavaScript script area from PHP. So we are selling script. This is the script tag we are giving. Now let's continue here. Now we'll say var my. I am giving the my2d is the name of the variable what I will be using in the JavaScript. Note that this var my2d is the JavaScript array, not PHP array. Okay, equal to I am giving, now it's a string. So I have just JSON encode. This is a PHP command only. Watch carefully that up to this point it's PHP. Sorry, though it's a string only written in PHP. Now I am writing a function JSON encode. JSON encode will encode or this array, whatever is there, PHP data array, that will convert into JSON format and create the JavaScript array. So give the output as JavaScript as a data for the array. So we'll say that PHP data array. Fine. So this is the PHP ends. Now again the string starts here, and next line what I will do, I'll come here, I will close the script tag. Already double quote is there. Now I'll see there are three parts on it. One part, this is a string, this is the PHP function which converts. I am again adding another string here. This end of the string is here. Once this page runs, I'll be getting a JavaScript two-dimensional array with the data taken from backend PHP. Just to test it, now what you will do, we'll just print it once. We'll see how it prints. So we'll say print R. It's not required, it's just for testing our code only. This line I will comment it afterwards. So let's just go and run it once. Let's see. This is what finally our graph will look like. Now I'm just refreshing it. ENCO, I miss a O here. JSON encode. Sorry. Fine. Let me come back here, refresh it. Okay. So the array is fine. All this data is printed. Now part 1 is over. Now I got the data. Now we'll move to the part 2, that is the how we'll plot the graph now. That's a front end or a JavaScript part. Before we move to our JavaScript part, let's create one div tag. So this div will holding our or display our graph or chart. So we'll give the name a chart div. So I'm just creating that. Inside this only our chart will be displayed. Fine. So this is let me just move up a bit. Fine here. Now we'll start with our JavaScript code. I have just pasted the code here. You can see here I have collected this is the URL where I will be collecting the JavaScript library, or this is points loads the JavaScript library from Google. Now this you can get it by just searching for Google Charts. This entire library will be loaded. Now after that let us first close this tag. Okay, we'll first think what we will do is we'll load our whatever the packages we will be using. So first we'll say Google. Now charts load. What will load? Current. What is current? I will tell you. Now then will start packages. CKGS packages. What are the packages right now we want is the core chart contains many things of our requirement, but core chart and bar, these two we are adding up. Here the purpose of this current is load the current version. Otherwise you can give the version name also. So you can tell but moment you give current, the current version is loaded. You can see another option here you can give is upcoming. Upcoming means which is Google has not released for production. But think is why you will go for upcoming. Rarely this requirement come up, because if you added some feature to your chart and you want it to test the future version it will work or not, that time you will go for the upcoming. But most of the time you will going with the current version only. So this value should be in the current. Now we'll say Google. Now Google Charts. Now set on load callback. This will wait for our these are loaded, then only it will call the function. So what function we are going to use for this? Okay, this is draw my chart is last time we have. So let us use that. Draw my chart. So this is any name you can give, that particular function will be, and the very next line we are going to use that also. Function draw my chart. So this is my function. Now let me just here. So inside this my first let's divide it into three parts for our understanding. First we'll keep the data inside that, because chart needs data. All charts are drawn on that. Now once data is there, then we will add the options, and finally we'll display it. So first let's start with how we'll go with our data. So we'll say data equal to new Google visualization dot, it's a data table. Fine, I have created this. Now let me, one thing we can do, we'll just see once if any error is the load, this is loaded or not. We can just go here, refresh it. Fine, we are not added. Let's see anything is wrong here. No, nothing. So far it is fine. Now we can move ahead. So now we have created object data. Now we'll use add column. So we are adding column. What type it is? First we will say it's a string. See, there are three things we are collected from our database table or our two-dimensional array. It is the month, sell, and profit. Out of this, you can see here month, sales, and profit. Now our array also will have these three columns. But what you will do, because of that, month will take it as a string, then rest two as numbers. So we'll tell that we are telling string and we'll say month. Fine. Now I'll just copy this, paste it here, string. Then it is, sorry, it is not, it is number then. Number, what is that number is? For us it is sales. Cell I am telling. Now the third one is also a number. It is the profit. Okay, now we have got this, all the three things we have loaded. Let me move up again. Fine. Okay, now let's me add the data to our chart. This is the most important part. If you have different ways of adding data. Say earlier in the introduction part of the pie chart, when or the basic introduction, in that we have explained how directly you can put the data here. But now we are, because we are taking it from a database, so we have slightly modified it. You can watch that one also, our first part where we are directly use the data. Now we are using a loop because we are having one this two-dimensional array, so we have to loop it and insert one by one. So I am telling I equal to 0. Now I is less than my 2D. My 2D is the two-dimensional array, and length. What is its data length? I am just taking. So my JavaScript two-dimensional array is my 2D. So now let us just I plus plus. Fine. So it's a one line, so I need not give the brackets and all. I will just add data, add row. Sorry, it is R capital. Okay, add row. Now what I am doing it, inside this I am putting my 2D, the first or the I value, because I have to loop it through. So I am taking, so 0, 1, 2, 3, like that it will continue for all. Now the first column, so it's a 0th column. So that 0th column is what it is. It is actually the string. It's the month. So that is the one. Now next we will add one more value. So one more column means, but this time we have to use parseInt. Reason is why I am using this, because this is a number. So JavaScript function parseInt will convert a string to a number. So invariably when you are taking it as a number, so we know this, we are declared it as a number. Here it is. So we are, second one is number. So we must use this function. Inside this function we'll keep the same thing. I will just copy this part. I may do a mistake otherwise. Fine. I'll just copied this. Pasted it here, and this time I will give this value as 1. So second one I am taking. Now one more part. 3 columns we have taken. So again once more parseInt, and I am just pasting it here. This is again after 1. This is 2. I should be careful about these brackets. Yes, bracket closes. Now this bracket is I think I did some mistake here. This is not required, maybe square, and this is not required. Fine. So just careful about the bracket, because that is the no, again I missed it here. 2 1 2 3. No, that should work. Fine. But why it is coming? Okay, here I missed a bracket. Right, that is why it's showing. Okay, so these brackets are fine. Okay, now we have added the data to it. Now let's go for the, let's just saving it, checking it once more whether any error is there or not, because otherwise we have to rework again. So far it's fine, no error. We'll go back again. I will be just adding some options here. These options, instead of typing all, you can understand this is a variable I am just declaring. It's giving the option. The title, whatever title I want to write it, it is here. You can write your own text. Then horizontal axis, the title, this font style, color and all I am mentioning here. Minimum value, whatever it is I am mentioning. Then I am specifying height and width. All these are kept under variable options. We'll see how we'll use the option. Let me just go up a bit. Fine. So here I am. Now options I will add it, but let me just create. Now it's a time to display it. So we'll say variable chart equal to, now I am saying new. I'll come to the next line better. New Google. Now visualization. Now what we can do is we can start with a column chart or a bar chart. We'll start with column chart. Column chart. Okay, this is the column chart. Now what I will do, I'll say document get element by ID. What is that ID? Now this ID is same as what we have used here. So we have declared it. Sorry, I will make it chart ID. Sorry, it is chart div. So this ID will use it because this is where we want our chart to be displayed. So we'll say chart underscore div. I'm just, this is, I will move towards right. Okay, I have just used chart div here. I will, otherwise I will just to show you it is here. So chart div I have used and I kept it. The chart div is where our graph should be displayed, so that I am connected it. Now fine, that's all. So I will say now that is okay, but now you draw it. So I will say chart, this object I am using, dot draw. What it will draw? I have passed already the data I have configured at the top. Now I will give the options. So here is the options, whatever I have connected. Now you can see here options are here. Fine. So up to this. Now I can just copy this up from here and paste it here. Instead of that, to better manage it, we have kept one variable and that we are using it. So data is what we have given at the top. Here you can see all the rows and columns, everything. So these two things we have to pass it on and then the chart should draw. Now let's see how it is. That's all the code is. We'll go back and display it. Yeah, it has come up. So this is our whatever it is, our column chart with 2 cells and profit. You just see the months are here. So these are the string it has understood, and this month text whatever label we have given, and this is our title, whatever you want to change it whatever way you want. So we'll just explore little more on the option part now. Let's first remove that display data, whatever for our understanding we have displayed it here. We'll comment this line. So it's no more required right now. So let's come and explore a bit more on the options. So I'm just adding one, is stacked. Is stacked, by default it is false. Now I am making it true. Now what happens with this? Is stacked. Okay, let's go and see. Wow, you can see this. This is stacked now. It's telling the profit 200, sell 300, all this. Now it is a stacked graph. Now, okay, let me just increase bit width of it. I will put it 800. So I can just increase it. Yeah, you can see it is increased. Now this can I change it? This legend position. Okay, I will try that now. I will say legend now because it is a position. Position I will say it is at top. There are various options are available. You can explore that. So these options, there are many are there. Okay, so now you can see this is at the top. Now this is how we'll there are big list of options are available, color, font, alignment, lot of things can be done. Now let's go for one important change here. Instead of column chart, let's try a bar chart. So what you will do is just I will remove this and put bar here. I am going for a bar chart now. So let's see what happens here. You can see this became a bar chart now, and because I have set the legend is tagged as true, I will just make it false and see. Fine, false. You can see this became no more a stacked now. So this is how there are big list of options are there. You can explore it, text, font, alignment, size, everything you can change it, and that link I'll leave it in the description. That's all. This column chart and bar chart is over. We'll next move it to our line chart. That is important also. We'll take from a database and display the line chart. I'll request you, please post your questions below. So your questions will help us to further explore and improve. And you tell your friends, share with this particular one video with your friends and all those who want to learn this. And don't forget to subscribe it and press the bell icon, because we will be adding more such tutorials, and we're continuously adding it. Now next we are moving to line chart, then we'll go for an interesting one, table, that you can use a paging script in the front end also. Not only that it works in the back end, in the front end. We'll explore all those things. That's why I request you, please subscribe to the channel so you will be notified whenever the new videos are added. Thank you.